Hey everyone, and welcome to Geekology. Now, if you're interested in technology, and you haven't been living under a rock for the past couple of years, you've probably heard the term smartwatch. The idea behind a smartwatch is basically that it will save time. Instead of having to, if you get a text message, let's say, instead of having to take out your phone, find the notification, open the notification, and then start reading your text message, with a smartwatch you'll be able to just read the text as it comes in, and with some of them you can even reply to it. This works for other things too, practically. If you see something and you want to take a picture of it really fast, if something amazing is happening and you need a picture now, with your phone you just have to take it out of your pocket, swipe to the side, open up your camera, wait for your camera to load, take your picture. Which seems pretty fast, especially compared to those of us who are still using a digital camera or whatever. But it would be even faster if we had a smartwatch with a camera equipped and we could just snap, take our picture, and then be done. So for those of us who don't want to wait for Google to release some amazing new smartwatch, or Apple to release the next, I don't know, some iWatch or some Apple-branded watch that might be really neat, there are some pretty cool smartwatch offerings on the market right now. So as I was looking into smartwatches, I kind of figured that the more features, the better. A smartwatch with maybe a camera, and a microphone, and maybe a little tiny keyboard or something, the more features that it has, the better, because, hey, why take your phone out of your pocket if you don't have to, right? Well, what I found out was that almost all the smartwatches that are on the market today, the big full-featured smartwatches, almost all of them are very difficult to use and are unintuitive. So, if it's a choice between, like, grab my phone here, if it's a choice between getting my phone out of my pocket and taking a picture, that'll take however long, but if I have to turn on my smartwatch, boop, and I have to open the UI and find the camera app and open it and then take the picture, and then I'll get a tiny 2 megapixel photo that I don't know, transfer to my phone somehow, and yet you get the point that it can be really, really awkward. And a lot of these watches felt like they were basically trying to be Android phones that are really tiny and fit on your wrist. And frankly, a watch is never going to be as good as a full-on Android phone, because the phone's bigger, it has more power, etc., etc. The more I was looking, the more it drove me crazy, because all the smartwatches I could find, it was like they were just trying to be smaller versions of an Android phone. And ideally, I would like it to be like that. Ideally, I think it would be wonderful if a smartwatch could have the full feature set, all the features that a phone has, just be very small, so you could choose whether to use your watch or your phone or whatever. But right now, none of those big full-featured watches were at all intuitive. And they're way overpriced anyways, but I'm not gonna... If my smartwatch has a microphone and a speaker, I'm not gonna make phone calls like this and look like an idiot, because that's stupid and not very practical. I mean, I'm gonna have my phone with me. Pretty much all of the smartwatches I tested communicated with Bluetooth to the phone, so you need to have your phone with you or in some close proximity anyways. So you might as well just use the phone for tasks that would be better suited for the phone, like typing. I mean, you can't type on unless you have some sort of maxi mega watch with a keyboard on it. I mean, you're going to want to do a lot of your tasks on the phone itself. So, like I said, ideally a smartwatch would have lots of features that would be just implemented very well, but no smartwatches exist yet that can do that. So what's the best smartwatch that you can just go out and buy today? Well, that is, in my opinion, the Pebble smartwatch. So what's so wonderful about the Pebble watch? Well, there are 3 reasons that I prefer the Pebble watch to any other current smartwatch offerings. First of all, it makes a really good watch. As you can look at it, it's a good-looking watch. It's nice and thin, and it doesn't weigh too much, which is a consideration to bear in mind with the other smartwatches, because all the other ones that I tried were much heavier than this. And when you're wearing the Pebble for a long time, it still feels comfortable, just like a standard watch, which is really important. Plus, as a watch, as you can see, there are several different watch faces that you can use that are included with this by default, and you can install extras if you want to, all of which just add to its functionality as being a good watch. Also, it has an e-ink display, which is the kind that's found on ebook readers. That display is easy to read in bright light because it doesn't use a backlight, but it does have a backlight available in case you want to read it at night or something like that. Reason number 2, it implements its features very well. Now this is a big deal, because like I said earlier, just because a smartwatch has a ton of features doesn't mean they're easy to use, intuitive, or even worth having. What this guy does mainly is just read notifications.
So if you get a notification on your phone, a text or whatever, you can read it on your watch, which is very useful. The nice thing about this is that it has the ability to easily add custom apps. So as you can see, by default, you can use music, control music on your phone, set alarms, choose from different watch faces, main settings. But then down here we get to the apps that I've installed. And now the nice thing about this is that because it connects to your Android phone or iOS device via Bluetooth, you can easily synchronize it. Meaning that if you install an app on your Android phone, you can set it to update the Pebble, and then it'll receive the app on the Pebble. So for example, as you can see, I've got different apps for different things here that I've just chosen to install: a timer, a stopwatch, and you can even play games that you can find here. This is called Pebbloid. I think eventually I'll do a review on Pebble games. Kind of counterintuitive, but they're actually a lot of fun, and I can't multitask. So let's go back to the main UI, and as you can see, this is pretty much all the options that we get. I'll go over to settings here, and as you can see, this is not a super feature-filled phone, and it's funny for me to hear myself saying this, but I actually kind of like that it doesn't have all those features. It does what it does simply, and it does well at what it does. So reason number 3, it's durable. If you're going to spend this much money on a watch, you want it to be something that's not going to be ruined if you accidentally drop it or it slips off your wrist or something. This watch has a solid metal body, as you can see, which is really useful and adds to the durability. Plus it doesn't have a touchscreen because it has an e-ink screen. So that e-ink screen gives it greater durability because, again, it's not a touchscreen. And it also allows it to be read in bright daylight, like I mentioned earlier, plus it saves battery life. I don't know if that really counts as durability, but it's got excellent battery life, which makes me just that much more likely to buy it.
Well, that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video and learned something about smartwatches in general, and especially about the Pebble. I'll update this video once Google releases their smartwatch or Apple releases a watch or something comes along that's better than the Pebble. Until then, that's my recommendation though. So if you want to buy the Pebble, I'll put a link down in the description, and I'll do a full review of the Pebble once I get used to it and have used it a little longer. So with that said, stay subscribed for that next review, and leave a thumbs up if you like this video, thumbs down if you didn't like this video, comment if you got something to say, and thanks for watching. God bless. I'll see you next time.